Hey guys, Bridget here, and today we're diving into textiles in Figma, a simple but powerful way to keep your design consistent and save time. So if you ever struggle with keeping typography aligned or uniform across a project, this video is for you, since I'll walk you through how to set up textiles in Figma, what they matter in your design system, and how they help you streamline your design process. So if you're ready to work smarter and faster, let's jump right in. And hey, if you wanted to level up your UI UX skills even faster, check out my free training. The link is in the description. And now let's go right into the tutorial. Okay, so we're in Figma and we're leveraging this beautiful UI kit called Untitled UI. And overall, you can see that we have a typeface displayed in all sorts of different sizes. And the reason being is because we're going to leverage different sizes for different parts of the project. Now, one thing which is very important to keep in mind is that within any project, you're probably going to have either just web app specific typefaces. So these are going to be typefaces that you're going to utilize in your UI UX projects. So things like the mobile app for your clients or the desktop app. So those are going to be certain typefaces and basically certain sizes that you're going to deal with, which are going to adhere to specific criteria. But you also need to take in consideration the websites. So on the web, you're most likely going to leverage, for example, headings like the heading 1, heading 2, which are going to be bigger on average than the ones that you have in most web apps. So there's essentially two ways to structure the file from a high level before we go into the details of how to set up the textiles and all the things that you need to take in consideration. And the first one is you can keep a typography sheet like this one right here, where you essentially have all sorts of different sizes, and that is going to cater for both the web design projects and also the UI UX projects, so the apps. The other approach, which I've seen used in a lot of scenarios, especially in larger companies, is you might have two different sheets, one for the website and one for the web app. Now, personally, I think that this approach is more practical, it's more pragmatic to certain degrees. However, I also understand that there's variables and elements that might cater for the other approach, which is dividing things up into two style sheets. It really depends on the project, really depends also on the teams and the client's preference. So you might want to experiment with both and then see which one caters most to your specific needs and taste, honestly. So that out of the way, we're now going to talk about the textiles. Now, if we have a look at the actual text, you can see that on the right-hand side, we're going to have the typography panel. Now, under the typography panel, you can see that I cannot change the text, and that is because this has been linked to a textile. Now, what the textile is from a high level is essentially a style which is going to be repeated throughout the project. So you can create this one style, which you can see it almost as a symbol, as a component, which you can then reutilize throughout the project and maintain that level of consistency. So each and every headline, for example, is going to have this specific style, and the same applies for all of the other different styles that we have. So utilizing textiles is always a good idea, especially as a project matures and evolves, and you really go to this next step in terms of needing that structure and setting up the design system. So in order to create a textile, it's actually quite simple. You can see that over here we have all sorts of different textiles, and setting these up from a high level, it's not difficult at all. So we're going to create a new text element. So we're going to rename this text AB. And what we're gonna do is we're going to create two variations of this, the text AB, and then what we're gonna do, and by the way, we're going to need to detach the textile because by default, since we are in a design file with textile file or textiles already established, you can see that by default it's capturing that. So it has been attributed to this textile in particular. But what we're going to do is we're going to detach the style, which we can very easily do by clicking on this icon. And at this point, we're going to need also to detach these other elements, which are basically inherited. And what we're going to do next is we're going to create a bold variation of this text. So I'm simply keeping it bold. And at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to click on this icon with these four dots, which is going to enable us to apply the styles. And we're going to click on plus, which is going to enable us to view this create new textile. So here we're going to see the preview of the textile, which is essentially what we just selected. And we're going to add a name. Now, the name is important because especially if you create variations, you want to keep the slash in mind. And by slash, I'm referring to the following. So I'm going to write AB and then space slash. Then I'm going to rename this to bold, or actually name this to bold. What the slash does is essentially it creates this hierarchy. So it's almost like creating folders or sections, and then we have the subsections, which are the actual weights of this text. So if we didn't do that, the name would be AB bold. So we wouldn't have this, for example, displayed to Excel subsection. This is going to become very clear in just a moment. So I'm going to use AB slash bold, create style, and now we have style, which we can see since it's over here. And now we're going to do the same thing with the very next one, plus AB slash regular, since this is going to be in a regular weight. We're going to click on create style, and as you can see, the moment that we select it, you can see that we have AB as the label, as the containing element, so to speak. And then we're going to have the bold regular. So adding this slash essentially enables us to create this hierarchy within the textiles, which again, very simple, and it's going to enable you to create much more complex textiles and design system typography elements like the one you see here. It's not really complicated. A lot of the complexity in design system is just understanding the building block or the Lego brick, how to create that first Lego brick. And then it's just a matter of adding them up and it's going to create something which is more complex, but with complexity also comes order and hierarchy, and basically it enables you to simplify things. So I really hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions regarding typography or textiles in relation to design systems in Figma, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll always try to get back to you on those, and I'll see you in the very next video.